in the audience if you like. Okay. All right. Oh, there he is.
I think maybe his app was glitching a little.
Yeah, something's going on because I've sent him invites a couple times. Oh, here we go. So yeah, we're here today to talk about the creator economy and how important all of you are to our new platform, House of Web3. Uh-oh. So he's putting a thumbs down. I think he can't connect. How about, do you have
co-host?
Wi-Fi, Papa?
If you co-host me, I can handle all the traffic, and then you can work on.
Okay. Can you have more than one co-host? Because I co-hosted
Yeah,
Hava.
I can just drop down as co-host as soon as he comes back up onto the stage, if that works.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for being patient, everyone.
It says you're allowed up to 2 co-hosts. I have to remove Hava to get you on. I think Hava knows how this works. We'll just, hopefully he'll connect to something soon here.
When he hops in and out like that, it makes me think that maybe it's a glitch with his app.
Okay, hold on. I just invited you to co-host, Val. So just to introduce, I'm Francine Ballard. I'm the CEO, founder and CEO of House of Web3 and Meta Golden. If any of you OGs remember Meta Golden, Meta G. And Valerie here is our head of community and a very brilliant Web3 mind herself. She came from Gucci Vault, and we're so happy to have her. And Ikulska, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Nice to see here and meet you guys. My name is Ida, and I am the PR director of the one of the first digital brand from Portugal. Our brand name is Eco Olsko, and we create the synergy between the physical fashion and digital fashion. We create digital twins. We create physical, sustainable eco products like activewear for women. And we create digital fashion and wearable NFTs and digital fashion shows. Thank you.
Ida. So is it Ida? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Ida. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And Havo, I think you're up on stage now, but we're not able to hear you. Not sure what's going on with that, but we'll come back to it. So let's get started, guys. So we're here today because we're talking about this incredible thing that's been about a year in the making. And Valerie, hopefully you can at some point. Oh, Valerie's now down in the audience. I'm not sure what happened with that. Again, I just invited you back up. This is very strange. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if we're just having technical difficulties here. Val, can you talk?
Yes. I had to re-request. I think the app is glitching a lot. Hey Vo, if you request to be a speaker, it might let you.
No, he's not. I don't have a request from him. Okay, I think we got it now. I had to cancel his co-host invite. Hopefully this worked. Anywho, Havo, as we all know, is very connected to a very powerful community of creators. And I asked him to co-host this space with me today because we are inviting creators, artists, digital artists, fashion artists, digital designers, like Ida or Ida's company. We're inviting everyone into our community. It's a very rare opportunity to join us as part of our foundation for the brand. And I'd love to share with you all our vision and what we're creating and hopefully get you involved. Valerie, do you mind pinning, or can you pin something, or you're just a speaker? Do I have to pin something?
No, I can pin whatever you'd like.
Can you pin our invitation, the allow list, which is on the House of Web3 profile?
Of course.
Perfect. So, hi, Dina. I just saw Dina. Do you want to come up here, or are you just listening today? Dina's one of our founding members. And I'm sorry, y'all have to bear with me. I have a terrible cold, but it's not going to stop us. It's not going to slow us down one bit. Hold on. I just want to invite her to speak. Dina's one of the brightest minds in the Web3 business. She heads up the Shiseido brands. And she started her Web3 journey at NARS. And then they kept promoting her because she's so good at what she does. Dina and I spoke on a panel at NYU together. And again, she is one of our founding members, as is Kelsey, I see in the audience, one of our creators. And just to give you an idea of what we are building, we are the first retail community that will be partially or fractionally owned by our own members. And it's really a DAO concept. And I don't know how versed you all are in Web3, but we're doing it via a membership token versus an actual DAO because it allows us the flexibility to move quickly and break things as we do in this space. Val, can you invite Dina up, or I can only invite her?
I would need to be a co-host. Are you able to invite me as a co-host or not?
Yes, and Hava's still not. I don't know what's going on. Oh, hi, Dina.
Hello. I think it's working now. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you on stage. I am eager to just to listen in, though, at the same time.
Yeah, of course, of course. I feel like I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I didn't want to talk that much about what we are doing because it's such a competitive marketplace. And now we're seeing a lot of people actually doing membership tokens. I don't know about you, but I am. And even people who aren't yet, I think, I'd love to get your POV on this behind the scenes, but I think it's something that we'll see more and more of in the next 3 to 6 months. But in the meantime, our community fills a real void, and really there's true meaning to it because we can't thrive and survive. We cannot succeed without our community, since all of our creators are really what makes it go. And I'd love to share a little bit about what we're doing with our projects. The membership drop being kind of the foundation, laying the foundation. As I mentioned earlier, Dina's part of the first 100 founding members who we have hand selected. And these members are heads of industry from the digital fashion space, but also the real life fashion and beauty space, just like Dina, people who are pioneering, innovating in the space, and creating incredible platforms that will form the foundation for the industry moving forward. And through that network, we're inviting other creators to come in and join us as creator members. And this very limited drop will be free to mint for our creators, people in this space, but also by referral from a founding member. And then as we grow, and starting actually April 1st, those NFTs, which represent membership in our community, will be sold for 0.1 ETH. And so, not to ramble on, but to give you an idea of what that entitles you to, first of all, it's fractionalized ownership. So we are planning on pushing a lot of our profits back to the community for successful projects. Those projects will consist of an IRL product. As we have always done, we pair physical with digital, which is part of why Ida is here today. We would love to work with Ida moving forward, but also we have the ability to connect forwards and backwards. So we have a whole creation studio, which allows us to create digital assets in the form of AR, VR. So one of the product offerings that's coming out shortly will be an AR filter tied to a physical product. We can also do wearables in Decentraland or other platforms. We can do NFTs, which actually are sold in tandem with the physical product on our site. And we can do the physical side too. If you're a digital creator, we can actually attach you through our physical manufacturing plant to create your own capsule collections. So like I said, it's moving forwards and backwards on the spectrum of physical digital, or what we like to call connected products. And we feel that this is where the industry is headed. And Dina, I'd love you to weigh in a little bit on what you're hearing about that too. But we really feel like, you know, this is pushing the boundaries of where the industry is or sort of the future of fashion, where every physical product is connected to some sort of digital asset, whether that be just for authentication purposes or provenance, but also sometimes it might just be a cool feature of the product.
No, I would agree with that. I think that it's, first of all, it's such an exciting time to be building, and I think it's precisely the right moment for a project like the House of Web3 to launch. I think, you know, a lot of the time in my career has been spent working with big brands, and it truly is transformative to think about the role that NFTs and the virtual economies will play for brands, you know, obviously for early mover brands now in this moment. And we see that across, you know, the luxury and streetwear, and it's really exciting. But even when we think about sort of the next 1, 3, 5 years, I would agree that I think that every brand is going to have a virtual goods and or a digital collectibles strategy. And I think that we're going to see a wide variety of approaches, ranging from, as you mentioned, kind of virtual, you know, virtual twins that can be worn, for example, in Web 2 and Web 3 environments. You know, NFTs that sort of allow for not only provenance, but also, for example, resale, which I think is super interesting when we think about, right, the luxury space, hard and soft luxury. So, you know, we've done a little bit of exploration on behalf of our brands. I will say that within the Shiseido Americas portfolio, you know, NARS is definitely the brand that has done the most experimentation at both a global and a regional level in some of our markets. And some of our early tests, both within NFTs, most recently with a collaboration actually that the NARS team did with the incredible community of Boss Beauties. We've seen an incredible creative opportunity and an incredible kind of community opportunity as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting time. I mean, never in my lifetime, and that's longer than everyone here can even imagine. But have I seen such a really interesting, a unique point of entry and transformational moment where I think a lot of businesses are actually being recreated right under our noses. And blockchain gives us the ability to do that. And I think, you know, most of what I encounter in the real world is people questioning or having a lot of doubt around uncertainty or fudding, you know, the idea of NFTs and what they represent. But most people, it's a very common misconception. And I think what people kind of miss is like the underlying technology that allows us to connect digital assets to physical ones, and or just, you know, the ability to own something digital and to transfer ownership rights to someone else. I mean, that is so historically transformative and is really, really, you know, kind of going to turn the retail world at least upside down in terms of what's possible and what people are already starting to do. And then forget about even like, you know, what's happening just in terms of like cultural relevance. I mean, I feel like digital now and our digital personas, our digital identities are just so tied to who we are as individuals, and that will only get stronger and stronger as we become more and more immersed as a digital society. So I think it's a really interesting time to be in this space, and I welcome everyone here to click the link and check out what we're doing, learn more about this, and how you can get involved as a creator. Again, it benefits us, but it hopefully will also benefit you as we like to showcase our creators. Kelsey, I might bring you up just to talk about sort of like what your experience has been working with us, and also to, you know, explain. Kelsey is an incredibly talented glitch artist, and she's very shy. She doesn't like to speak, but I've worked with her now on 3 different projects. just to give the room a sense of our capabilities. We have partnered in the past from a retail perspective with Moda Operandi twice, just on capsule collections. Also, Fred Siegel in Los Angeles, we had a collection there. We still have a collection there that's physical, digital. We're working on something with Amazon that will be live in the next month or so. And also working on something with Saks for the near foreseeable future, which we can't talk too much about, but that'll give you a sense of like where the industry is headed. And to Dina's point, how much brands are really looking to engage with this technology. And what we want to do is be the conduit for that for creators. We, from day one, have really promoted creators and individuals and artists. And if you follow us on Instagram, you know how passionate I am about like lifting these creators up. It's the first time that creators have been able to benefit from actually selling their own work or their own creating their own products and getting paid for it, and not just getting paid for it once, but getting paid, you know, eternal royalties. So it's really a powerful thing, and we hope to be the conduit for something that we've already created in a sense with using Metagolden, the first brand we launched as a test subject, which is a jewelry brand, which is physical digital. But we're really extending the platform to all creators everywhere, and then hoping to pair them with physical product. And we help again make the introductions, and on the other side too, for brands who are looking to test the waters in the digital space, we like to make those introductions as well. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone. And then on top of all of it, we're rewarding our creators with the ability to actually earn profits from projects that we are involved with. And collective benefits, you know, promoting other creators, working together as a community, and then also just having the ability to be featured and promoted. Because one of the biggest things I've noticed, and Dina knows this from having worked with brands for so long, it's very difficult for individuals or anyone, you know, who doesn't have a massive budget or massive outreach behind them to make noise or become successful in a space that's dominated by big brands and big budgets. And so what we hope to do really is to educate our audience, educate our members as to what worked for us in terms of establishing credibility in the space early on with Metagolden, but then also connecting to PR, connecting to other resources that made it possible for us, creating collaborations. That is a huge part of, you know, I think success in the business today is like becoming your own brand, like really creating yourself as a brand. Even if you're an artist and you've never thought about that, it's really like coming up with the business plan, like of who am I as a brand? Who do I want to target with my art? And it's very commercialized, but you know, if you want any commercial success these days, I feel like, you know, a lot of the influencers get a lot of flack, but they know how to promote their own brands. And we need to do that as artists, as creators. And especially for digital artists, this is a new space and one that has been traditionally undervalued. And we hope to bring these creators to the forefront and let them shine. And I'd love to, rather than kind of talk everyone's ear off, I know this is a new concept, so I would love to open this up to questions. If anyone has a question, let us know, and we'll try to bring you up. It seems like it's not working too well, but I would love to hear your questions on how the platform works and how you can get involved, etc. So, Valerie, maybe you can monitor that and just as people have questions, like bring them up. Oh, I see Astrid in the room. And I think Havo pretty much gave up on trying to get up. I'm going to invite him one more time. Anyway, for everyone, since he doesn't have a voice, I want to tell everyone Havo is also one of our founding members and has incredible access to the creative community, particularly in the fashion space. He works with some of the most talented emerging fashion designers and has connected us to his audience. And we work together on a lot of different projects. He is one of the most beloved characters in the space. I can also tell you that has an incredible reputation and just is the hardest worker you will ever meet. He he really brings his community, his Fashion Fridays community, together in such a way that people are just very grateful and thankful for his intervention and his great leadership in that capacity. And I really wish he could speak, because he could say this for himself. But anyone who knows Havo knows that he's an incredible leader amongst his community, and amongst his vast community, I should add. And Val, I'm going to let you talk for just a second, because, as I mentioned, I have had a cold and my voice is running a little bit hoarse at this moment.
Of course.
So maybe you can share a little bit about sort of our plans, where we've come from, how you got involved, what we're doing, how you've seen the community grow in the last year, etc.
Of course. Before I get started on that, I do want to say that I don't have co-host privileges. So if you'd like to ask a question or anything, please feel free to send me a direct message, and I'll make sure that your question is answered during this space. Or you can always email us. But also, the way I got started with Francine, we had mutual friends in common on Instagram. I found the Instagram for this project and I fell in love with it immediately. I thought, and this is when we were purely focused on jewelry and just connecting the physical and digital in jewelry, and a few different collaborations with designers. However, HW3 had not been born yet, and I still just felt like this is where I need to be. I need to reach out to Francine, and I just need to see, like, is this something I could get involved with? I had just wound down my time with Gucci. I had been working with Gucci, and they had just done a large round of layoffs. Everyone left was in Italy, and unfortunately, I live in the United States. So, unless I'm planning to travel across the world, it was not going to work out for me. Anyway, I found Francine. We instantly clicked. I felt like my creative juices just started flowing. We had so many great ideas together. She's just such a fantastic businesswoman. I really look up to her, and the way that she's always wakes up and she has so many great ideas. She has so many wonderful connections that she creates opportunities for a lot of the people that she knows, which I really look up to. I really think that the way that she supports other women and men in this space is just so inspiring. How, we see in Web3 where there's a lot of people who are in it for themselves, but immediately Francine was saying, sorry, I'm getting some text messages, a little distracting. But immediately Francine was saying, look for artists that haven't had great opportunities yet. We want to feature some artists. We want to feature, different brands that are up and coming. We want to help them, get opportunities, get them into doors, get them into new people's eyes. We want to put them in front of people. We want to help people who haven't, had their moment yet, because we have, one thing that she had already established is great press. And, with the press that Meta Golden, which was Meta Golden at the time, we weren't House of Web3. With the press that Meta Golden was getting, we were able to help put a lot of these people into a place where we could really change their career. And it was so inspiring to see that Francine wasn't all for herself. She was always trying to raise people up with her. And now she's created this group, which is House of Web3, where she brings all of these people together, from large companies to startups, and she brings them all together in this beautiful community. These are our founding members in House of Web3, and they all connect with each other. Some of them have met overseas in Paris. Some of them have met in Miami, just all over the world. And people have really become friends, and it's just so lovely to see people are helping each other, and it's just paying it forward, and everybody's continuing to grow together. So I hope that I didn't speak too much, but I do want to say that Francine is just a one-of-a-kind person, and for her to be behind this, I think that she's one of the greatest assets to House of Web3, and I'm just so grateful to be under her wing.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry, Val. So sweet. So sweet. But it really is true. I'm very passionate. And someone asked me once, like, why are you so supportive of women? I'm like, why the hell not? I mean, I'm so tired of, having to like justify why women can be powerful or why they can be amazing or like, working within the limitations. And I hit so many roadblocks coming into this space, as you can all imagine, 3 years ago as a woman in Web3, or it wasn't even Web3 at that time. It was just NFTs. It was really just blockchain. And I just felt like, no one, even I'm a huge proponent of the underdog. Like I just want us all to rise. I want us all to rise, and that was like really the thought and the sentiment behind this platform in the first place. And I was like, I don't know, investor people were like, well, how are you going to make money? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like you make money, all of that comes secondary. Like if you can build a platform that's strong enough where people have like a common goal and a common objective, we can all rise together. And I really believe that. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. And Valerie, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your words, because you've seen it firsthand how much I've struggled on my own and trying to build everything. And I feel so justified in that and so happy. Like this day is so amazing that we're able to offer this as an allow list, because she watched me building. We built it together for a year and trying to make sure that the right people were involved and that the platform worked, and that not only that, but this is a very complicated platform in terms of like, it's not just an NFT collection we're putting out and we're making it free for our members, but it's also a generative, it's a dynamic passport, which I'm not sure if anyone here knows what that is, but we are working with the best, the most incredible creators in the space. And we've been able to, builders in the space through people we've met in the industry and just like personal connections who have lifted us up just as much as we've lifted them up. This NFT will evolve over time. So if you get in here on the ground floor and you own one of these NFTs, you're a part of our community forever. There will only ever be these first 500. And then, everyone who comes in after that will have to, go through jump through different hoops and perform different functions. But as these NFTs evolve over time, as you participate in the community, your NFT evolves. So when you come in with these NFTs now, they look one way. And then as you participate within the community, you're rewarded and your NFT actually changes colors. It like evolves. It's generative. It's dynamic. So it will look different to you as you perform certain functions within our community, and everyone will be rewarded for their efforts instead of just being an afterthought in the background. And that truly is, our ultimate goal is to, as we build this incredible platform and just launching off the crazy unexpected success that we had with Meta Golden, that was the reason. I could have just kept going with that one brand, but I decided to build something that could be much bigger and much greater. And that's our whole objective with House of Web3. And with that, I see Astrid. Astrid, I would love for you to talk. Astrid is our head of Metaverse, and she is so talented. One of the first people I met in the space back in the Clubhouse days. And she has really, I cannot even describe um, like what we've shared together and how much she's helped me and how much we've grown together and how incredible her work is in the space. She's pretty much put together almost the entire Metaverse Fashion Week like agenda, and single-handedly like I can't even tell you like stuff I don't ever even understand. Astrid is like Johnny on the spot. She gets it. She's like behind the scenes. She's like, you would think that she's been in the space as a creator, as a developer. You'd think she was born knowing blockchain, honestly. Like she is such a mastermind and has really, really helped us in terms of the VR space and really elevated our game to the next level. So Astrid, say hello to everyone and tell them if if you want to create digital wearables, how you can get involved and your experience, etc.
Hey, oh my gosh, that was such an intro. Thank you so much, Francine. That was very, very sweet of you to describe me that way. I am just super excited to be here. Francine and I, like she said, met back in the Clubhouse days. I can't believe how long it's been. Nix knows, Kelsey knows. I mean, it's just been a very, such a journey. And, I love metaverse. I love digital wearables. I love creating. And I'm so happy that I was able to help Francine with the metaverse portion of Metaverse Fashion Week. It just kind of naturally fell together. So it was super exciting. We have two new designers for House of Web 3, and we've got Blanc de Blanc, and we have Mutiny. So we've got two really great designers in there. And, we have wearables made, and Polygonal Mind did the wearables. So they did an amazing job. And yeah, if anybody needs help with creating wearables or understanding how the process works, or, maybe your brand wants to come into the metaverse and have let's say a launch event or musical performance or anything like that, we have a gala going on, and House of Web 3 is going to be part of that gala also, which is going to be in Spatial on the 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So please, look for that announcement as well. That's going to be a fun one. We've got like 3 or 4 DJs, including Dex, who is and I don't even know if you know this yet, Francine. She's a digital performer, the first in the UK, I believe, a digital performer and influencer from the UK. So, and of course, we have Serena Ellis, who is one of my friends now, and worked with her for several different launch events. She's a meta performer. And then we have DJ Cherish the Love, who is amazing. She's done performances. She's DJ'd like Arsenio Hall, Saturday Night Live. She's amazing. And we've got a really great program going on. But I'm here, for questions or anything like that. And Francine and I have been, like she said, working together for a long time. So I'm super excited about your project, Francine. This is like going to be a really crafted group, and I love the women that are in the group already. I think it was just perfect timing, and I think this is going to be really, really great.
Thank you, Astrid. And I just noticed David is here. David, you have to say hello. One of my favorite people also, and a founding member of House of Web 3. Really and truly like the greatest, I think, most talented blockchain mastermind in the space. And like, honestly, I think just the most talented person in the space right now. David, say hello to everyone.
Oh, I love you, Francine. That means the most coming from you, because I think you're one of the most talented people in the space. So I'm so happy to be here. I saw this running. I'm between calls, but I'm spending as much time here as humanly possible, and I'm so happy I'm here. Shout out Astrid, shout out Kelsey, shout out Nix. So much love for Nix right now. You are helping me so much. And of course, shout out to Francine. Love this. Can I talk about my founder pass? Because I literally just unhid it in my wallet, and I love it. I'm so excited. Who made that? Was that Kelsey? I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm so excited. I'm about to post it on social media, but I was literally just like, as I was listening to this space, like I scanned the QR code. I was like scrolling through the website. I went through the whole experience. I was having a gay old time. I don't know. I was having a great time.
I love it. I love it. Well, Kelsey created it. So Kelsey deserves all the props and the credit for the art. But she's so talented, as you know. And that means a lot coming from you, David, because just for the purposes of this audience, David and I worked together on my first NFT collection. And I mean, when I say it was stressful, there are no words to describe. And David literally handheld me through the entire
Francine
process.
is the first client of mine who beyond sold out. And it was
I think David was actually really surprised.
It was amazing.
This is when he wasn't as busy as he is now, so he took me out of pity, I think.
No, I took you because I love you, and I'm so happy that I still think that was iconic. I'm still so happy that happened, and it was amazing. I think it was an incredible moment in time.
I
I
know.
love it.
Okay, it was very strange. It was very strange. It was very quirky because everyone I went to was like, "You don't know your ass from your elbow, and this is gonna flop." And David was like, "This is interesting."
I was like, I might be crazy, but I think this is gonna sell out. And then it like way more than sold out. And I was like,
Yeah.
work.
Yes. So I was like, the great news is like we made $1 million today. The bad news is we have to return half of it.
It was a fun series of phone calls. I mean, not in the moment, but in retrospect.
Yeah, we've learned a lot since then, people. But I mean, part of that is really and truly like what I'm trying to give to our community is like that kind of knowledge and information. It's really hard starting out on your own. No, and I know this because I did it. To connect with the right people. And what I've done is build a community of the best and brightest. Like everyone in our 100 founders is literally the best in their space. They are the best in their space, whether it's Web3 or fashion or art. We have Siobhan Wong, who's an incredible digital artist. We have several actually really great digital artists. Claire Silver. It's just in every category they're the best in class, and I'm really excited for to kind of pull everyone else in our peripheral into this moment. And I actually kind of crafted that with David about a year ago. Also, I was like, hey, how hard would it be to pull together the top 100 people in digital fashion? And he was like, oh, that should be easy. And then we both sat down and started to do it. We're like, shit, there isn't 100 people in the space. So it was harder than we thought. But we muscled through it. We found them, and now they're part of our incredible community. And we want to just share this and outreach with everyone. So again, if you're in this space, if you have someone that you want to pull in, this is the week, because like I said, the public mint will be starting at next Friday, March 31st at midnight. And Havo, it just said that you declined to co-host. I don't know what's going on with that. But yes, so the public mint will be at 0.1 ETH, but this is the week if you want to come into our community. Anyone who's here, it's not by accident. You were invited to be here by someone who's, clearly like making headwinds in the space, and you're a part of our community already. So please join us. We'd love to have you be a part of our founding founding creator community. And there are 400 spots. Actually, I think we did one space earlier this week, so I think there are about 338 spots now. But yeah, there are quite a few still open, and we're planning, in fairness, this is only the second space. There's some press coming out. And then there's quite a few spaces. David's helping me with a space with Leah Lamar next week. And so it will probably sell out. My guess is that we will be full before it actually goes to the public mint. But this is the whole point. We want the people who have been here since the beginning. We want the degens. We want the digi-natives. We want our crypto Twitter people in first. That's what makes a successful community when you're in the digital fashion space or the digital art space. We want our people to understand our mission and be involved and feel good about it. And we want all of our hearts to be aligned in terms of our mission critical, which is like building something incredible that doesn't exist yet. So I hate talking, as anyone who knows me knows. So I'm going to hand it back over to, actually, Kelsey, you're up here now. Can you share just a little bit about sort of how we've been involved in your experience in working with the platform?
Sure. Hi, everyone. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Francine, you've been such a supporter of my work. And you were the one that saw me when I was just creating flowers, and I did that generative project. I feel like I was just creating for myself. And one day you sent me this DM on Instagram, and you said, hey girl, I love this. Can you put some jewelry on it? I'm like, what? So you kind of guided me on what you wanted to do. And all of a sudden I was getting all this recognition and all these followers. I'm like, what's happening here? Like I just came here to learn and to be an artist for the first time in my life, because I studied fashion design long ago, but I dropped out because I had, important things to do, as my mom said. like get a job in corporate. So I was in advertising for a long time, but anyway, the passion of fashion came through the art, and Francine saw it. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, but anyway, we've worked together on a few projects. The first big one was with the pop artist, the painter, and I glitched like 1,800 pieces on my own, and that was a learning experience. And we've been doing a few other projects, and yeah, I'm kind of getting nervous now, but thank you.
You're
You're the
wonderful.
cutest, Chelsea. I love you so much. And you've been like such an integral part of my success, our success in the space. I mean, I guess that's just the point. It's like I wouldn't be sitting here having a room talking. I wouldn't even have this ability if it weren't for the people sitting here on this stage with me. And I want to share that experience and with anyone and everyone who's around us now. And I feel like, I know it sounds corny, but I just feel like when you have the right intentions, like the world opens up for you. And it has for me. And I want to extend that. I want to extend that reality to anyone who comes within my contact. And I've never ever felt competitive with other people in the space, even Crypto Jeweler. I was like, come on, he's a founding member. Like, I really tried to, include everyone who I initially worked with and had contact with, who helped me. I helped them. We've all kind of risen in our own way into this incredible next, I would say, phase two of our businesses and our careers. And it's really powerful. And Web3 really showed me that. I did not have that experience in the fashion community coming up. I was the American fashion director at InStyle. I worked at Condé Nast. I had a lot of experience in the corporate world before I came to Web3. And it was really refreshing because it was the first time I felt a different vibe, and I really gravitated to that, and I want to extend that for as long as I can. I don't know how, or if it's possible, but I'm going to die trying. And I really think just the success that we've had over the last couple of years is exemplary of that, and I want to push that forward as much as possible.
That's beautiful. I do want to tell you that Havo has been trying to get up on stage for quite a while. Can we check and just make sure? I think that he has some speaker requests in. Francine?
Hi, so sorry. I was just texting him a screenshot. It says he can speak, but I'm not sure what's happening. I think he's having technical difficulties because I keep inviting him, and it says he
Probably a
can
Twitter
speak.
thing.
But
Maybe he should try to just leave the room and come back. That helped yesterday. We had that with Spatial. They couldn't talk for some reason.
It's happened several
yeah,
times. I also want to say that there's something about, so with working with Francine, and I've been to like all these interesting conferences and everything. And there was one where Mr. Wonderful, who kind of has a bad rep in in crypto right now, for the FTX thing. But Mr. Wonderful was saying that he loves to invest in female founders. And I said, oh, that's great. But then he went on to say, I love to invest in female founders because they play it really safe and they have really small goals. So you always get your money back because they have very small goals, thinking like women think so small. And I thought, that's such a disgusting remark. And working with Francine, I can see that every day her mind keeps growing and she just always thinks big, and she really proves him wrong, and it makes me so proud to work with her. Because like that remark stuck with me for so long. This was probably 5 years ago that I went to that conference, and it still makes me angry. But working with Francine, she had this idea of HW3 so many months ago. I don't know when the idea was born, but when we started launching HW3, that was several months ago. And every day since, she keeps building on it. She keeps making it better. And I know that she's going to continue to build it throughout its entire lifetime. So I just want you to know that when you invest in Francine, I know that these founder passes are free, but even if you invest, things like your time, your even just being in spaces, being a part of a community is an investment. I just want you to know that you're investing in someone who is truly breaking the mold, and she thinks big, she's creative, she's kind. I just wanted to leave that with you.
You're so sweet, Val. I mean, again, like, this is so embarrassing. This is literally my worst nightmare because I hate being the center of attention. But I do appreciate your sentiment to the core, and right back at you. Like, kindness is king, right? And I would love to hear from anyone. Poor Havo, I'd really love to hear from him, but I can't get him up here. Are there any questions on how the platform works, how you can get involved, what exactly is? I'm going to keep talking.
I want to hear the spiel, because maybe I joined late, maybe you already gave this, but I want to hear the spiel. So I have a founder pass. I know there's multiple other passes. Can you just walk us through the whole tiering system, and like, if I want to evangelize this to other people, if I want to bring people in and get a free NFT, like, what's the spiel I should give them? And again, maybe you already
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, no, but let's share it again, because it's important. First of all, the membership collection consists of 500 NFTs, 500 tokens. You are one of the founders, so you're the first 100, which have already minted. And then from there, via referral, invite, or people like this in curated spaces, we're inviting creators to come into our community for free this week. So that'll be a tier 1 NFT, which is like your NFT, but it only has 2 of the colors. So the NFT itself was inspired by Mondrian, who's my favorite artist. Like, anything he does, I'm obsessed. I don't know why. It's like a very at my core, something about his art really speaks to me. I think because it's so basic and raw and elemental. But so I decided to just rip him, I guess, and worked with Kelsey to create a dynamic NFT where tier 1 is just the blue and white. And then once we worked with Passage on the contract. So once you get to tier 2, you have to perform certain actions. So you would have to make a purchase on our site. You would have to do a collaboration with us in some way. You would have to interact with the community. But there will be rewards for people who even socially, if you want to attach your social handles, you'll be rewarded for promoting the collection or one of our collections. And the first thing that we're doing is a collaboration. The first collaboration that our community will be able to vote on or have a say in or be rewarded for is with Blair Breitenstein. She's an incredible fashion illustrator out of New York. She has an incredible following. She has about 300,000 followers on Instagram, and we're working with her on a big project. I can't say with who, but it'll be a digital project. So it'll be physical, digital. And Kelsey also glitched that collection. God bless Kelsey. I am excited to work with other artists, but I haven't found someone I love more than her yet. And she's just like a go-to because she's so talented, and we work so well together. So when this project opportunity came up, it was a very like, now, we need it tomorrow. And she just delivered like that. It was a no-brainer. Anyway, so that'll be our first project. And the point of all of that being is that as these projects drop at the end of year 1, that we will redistribute profits from those collections back to the community. So right now, those profits go specifically to the founding members, but you, as tier 1 holders, will have the opportunity again to keep upgrading. So tier 2 is the second level, and there the NFT incorporates with the blue and the yellow. And then only at tier 3, once you've actually done something with us or sold on our site, there will be some other perks as well. But once you get to tier 3, which is the founders level, you will be able to benefit from proceeds back to our community, and also to vote on which collections we actually create, if that makes sense, David.
I love that. I'm excited.
Yeah. So it truly is, something where if you participate, you stand to benefit greatly. And the more you participate, the more you benefit.
I love generative aspect. That's so much fun for people. And they can come in, so you can come in for free and then go through all these tasks to kind of continue to upgrade your NFT and upgrade your status in the community. It's so cool. I love this.
Exactly. And only the founders will have all of those rights and privileges like from the get-go. And that's because these people, as you know, are vetted. You know some of the people in our community, and you help me kind of bring a lot of them to our community. So you understand how really, really fortunate we are to have them in our community, and how innovative and how powerful those members are unto themselves. So they really strengthen and lift up the foundation of what we're building just from the get-go, and then building from there. It's just impossible to fail, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's exciting. It's exciting. And so the Blair Project will be first. Then we are also working with an artist. His name is Tyler Spangler, and check him out on Instagram if you haven't seen him. He's incredible. And I can't announce who the partnerships are with at retail yet, unfortunately, because a public announcement hasn't gone out. We are also working with World of Women. I don't know, is Christine in this space? No, I haven't seen her. We're also working on a digital project with World of Women, which we hope to bring to market this summer, but it could end up going as late as September, depending how long it takes us to produce. But again, I wanted to, David, I don't know if you know this, because I may have told you, or I may not have. But we are kind of like full service now, where we have, we can create the digital elements, and we utilize our community. We utilize artists from our community to partner for brands, not a brand like Gucci, but more like mid-tier brands who are looking to just dabble or dip their toes in the space. And then just to enlighten everyone in this community, David has his own agency called Cash Labs, which is the most prolific Web3 agency in existence. He is working with huge brands. Like, we are so out of his league at this point. Like I said, I would never have been able to hire him now. Thank God we're friends, and I can just call him and get advice for free. Um, but he's an incredible resource for any of you that are looking to do something big. He's a big, big player in the space. But anyway, that's what he does too. So I wanted to make that very clear. But we have our own little in-house studio, much of which I outsource to David or ask for his opinions or his help with. And then we also can work from the other side in terms of bringing digital designers, whether you design digital wearables in the metaverse, so VR, or whether you have an AR filter you want to get on a product. A lot of our new products have AR filter attached to them, and I'm going to be posting something later today. I'm so excited. We have our first product, and it's HW3, so it's our house brand, but where you can actually see what an AR filter looks like on a physical product, which is super, super cool. Like, this is something that I am very, very excited. And it's been like, it's like killing me to not release it, but I've been waiting until the mint. So I'm gonna hopefully release a little bit of that later today, and a physical video of what it looks like and how it interacts. It's just so cool. So as the space evolves, physical, digital, pairing the two together, we're able to go back or forward. And we have a full manufacturing plant in New York, like a full capability of, like, whether you want to do like a little collab, like you want to just do a capsule collection, or you want to do a full on, like, your own line, your own clothing line. We can design, manufacture, market, and distribute that at scale with ongoing utility. So that really is the value principle, David, is that we kind of like are in the middle between, smaller brands like upstart brands and digital creators, and hope to like connect the two together, as we have done for many, many months now, but just extending that capability on the next level. Does that make sense? He might have gone and taken a phone call. I hope he heard everything I just said. And if not, then that benefits the rest of you in the community as well.
I did. I was just in another page on my phone, and
No
I was
worries,
like
no
desperately
worries.
trying to
I
get
don't know
back
if
to
I
the chat.
told
I
you.
hate technology, but I love it. I'm totally
I
aligned. I love it.
I brought two partners in that can do can manage the physical manufacturing part, because we feel strongly and we've invested heavily in that technology, because we feel like most brands are going to have to go in this direction. So our people have worked already with Kith and Marc Jacobs and Supreme. They're deep in the streetwear community, and we're working with some of their physical brands who want to explore a digital element. attaching a digital component to their product offering. So, and then we're also working again with the digital creators, which is what we're talking about today, coming into our community. And it's so important that we get the right creators. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, this is our mission and mantra. We want to lift you up, but we need you. More than that, we need you. And that's why, that's partially why this mint is free. This is a space, and big brands are going to be competing for all of your attention very soon. And that's a fact. If you can make a name for yourself now, you will be very, very successful in the next couple of years as this whole transformation starts to occur of pairing the two together. And I'm super bullish on it. Other people might not think it will happen that quickly, but Dina Fierro was in here earlier. David, you missed her, but she was, as you know, she's one of the brightest minds in the space as well. And she was kind of saying the same thing, that this is where she thinks the industry is headed. So we feel like we are at a really good spot in terms of where the industry is right now and where we're headed and where everyone else is headed. And we just want to be the connector.
I love it. And I'm so excited about your long-term vision with this. And I know we talked about it a tiny bit on the phone as well, but it's super, super exciting, the direction that this is taking. So
it is.
It's very 360 now. It's not just a community. There's so many things. I love it.
Yeah. And Valerie was right about one thing. I can say, I think too big sometimes. I think a lot of times when David and I work together, he'll rein me in and be like, okay, that's great. That's not possible. And I have to be almost I have to have my people around me, my advisors, who logistically can tell me okay, that's great, but no. And here's what we can do right now. And here's how we can do it. Because I have, that is I guess it's my biggest strength, but also sometimes my biggest weakness is I don't see any limitations.
But that's a good thing. Vision is really important. And a lot of people lack it, especially big organizations. I talk about that a lot with a lot of people. Vision and just vision, being able to see what the future can look like in a creative and exciting way that doesn't currently exist. That is super, super valuable. And the fact that we can use, Web3 tech to support that vision and actually execute it, that is beyond valuable. That's what we're really doing here. But
that's what you're doing.
But you know what? It's really good. I mean, I think that the long-term vision gives you a place to go. And then, I like sometimes reining you in because then we make things happen right now. And then also I see the long-term vision still happening. Now we've known each other for years. And I mean, things you were talking about years ago just happen and they're fabulous. I know they don't just happen. I know how hard you work, but wow. You're so impressive.
It's so true. It is a lot of hard work, but if you have the right people around you to execute, you can really make anything as possible, truly. And I think that's why I'm obsessed with this space also, because it's almost like dream making. It's the new frontier. And I don't like being told no, and I don't like having limitations. And Web3 is a space where you can almost do anything if you can find the right people to help you execute. So that's kind of that's really what sets Web3, in my opinion. That's what sets it apart from the traditional retail environment right now. And I can't tell you, I worked in that space for so long and the answers were always no. And the brands always had all of the power. And it was so frustrating because you feel handcuffed so many times in what you can do. In fact, I remember, since no one is asking a question, and please ask a question because, again, I hate having the microphone.
We have a question from the audience.
Oh, okay. What is it? I'm so glad you're here, Val.
It's from LV Lomax, and he loves what we're doing. He's into digital fashion. Let's get to his question. He says, how do you see the importance of communities, and how do you think the industry has changed over the last year with the bear market? A different approach to address the market? Also love your concept with delivering service and manufacturing facilities. Which standards are you addressing for the sustainable effort? Guidelines and standards.
Oh my God, I might have to email him offline. but I'll start with number one, the importance of community, because that's sort of that's the flagpole of our business. So I think community is everything. I think that what Web3 brings to the table is a more dynamic relationship with brands. And I was about to say, when I worked for InStyle, we went to Chanel and we said, hey, we have this really great idea. We want to sell your products online. And they said, oh, no, we'll never do that. So, um, I think that the industry has evolved dramatically and will continue to evolve, and NFTs and blockchain are just enabling that and driving that in a very rapid fashion. I think that communities and how Web3 has affected that, and how and vice versa, is that we're able to actually, it's more of a bottom up kind of model than in the past. In the past, the brand, again, like one creative director maybe at the top, had all the power and kind of put their vision into the world, and then we as consumers just consumed. We've just bought whatever product they put out. Well, now what we're able to do, since you can connect a community, a brand, to a larger community in a meaningful way and monetize that, the consumer has the say, and they might be actually the next creator. And it's similar to what we're doing with our community, where the creators can actually be involved in the process and benefit from it, versus just being a consumer and just paying for a new product and having no part in that process.
And I think that direct feedback is probably good for sustainability. It will reduce waste as well, which is part of his question.
I'm hugely concerned about that, and I think that is the number one topic actually in the fashion community right now, is how do we make big companies, brands, responsible. And a part of how I think blockchain does that is by making it more transparent, making their processes more transparent. Like, where was this product manufactured, who made it, how was it produced, all of those things now through the blockchain are attainable. And I think that it's going to be one of those things where, as people start to adopt sustainability standards, that other people will have to conform and feel the pressure to conform, to actually inform their consumer of how they're, the life cycle of their products. And again, that is only possible through track and traceability, or blockchain and NFTs. So if you can remember any part of the rest of that question, I'm happy to answer it. Those were the two things that stood out to me.
I think also with so HW3, I know earlier you spoke on it. I think that people underestimate this part of the project, is the AR filters that you're offering. And the AR filters, I think, are so important to sustainability, because people can try things on their body before they purchase it, which is going to prevent so many of those returns.
That's true too. I mean, this is kind of down the road, because, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And something that we have planned for phase 2, but it's really virtual try on. And I think that is going to revolutionize the way products are created, and how we purchase those products, and hopefully eliminate a lot of that waste. You're correct in that.
That's all the questions we have from the audience as of now.
Well, that's good. That means our platform, everything is crystal clear. David, do you feel like you could talk about this? Like, if given what we've spoken about here today, is it clear to you, or what am I missing?
No,
I guess
I have
I'm
a lot
asking
of good
you.
stuff, and I'm about to tweet about the pass and telling people to apply also for this creator pass. Am I allowed to talk about who's in it, like, publicly? Like, is this a thing? Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Because I was
You
about
can
to
talk about it.
tag a bunch of people, like I would, like, every time we get, like, why not, right? So I'll tag a bunch of people here, and I'll tag a bunch of people in the group chat, and let's try to make this. Let's push it. I love it. This is great.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I haven't even done that yet. Because I feel like there's such utility. Like, the benefit of me having all those people is just to, like, lean on them. Like, I was texting Megan Caspar yesterday a million questions, and she just is like, okay, you know how she texts back with her voice text. But I just feel like our community is so powerful. It's actually it's mind blowing even to me. And Dina was in here earlier, but Ashumi from Mag Global was like, hey, who can we get in for this, the future thing? And I'm like, well, what about Mikhail Baralara at Gucci? What about Dina at Shiseido? What about, but yeah, go for it.
I love it.
But is it clear? And I'm asking you, like, as an advisor now, like, is my messaging clear? I guess we can talk offline on that. Like, what do I need to clean up? Because I mean, we're starting to talk to investors now. So.
I mean, I think all of it's very clear. I just think there's so many incredible elements to it. You know what I'm going to say is like, what do you want to push first? Like, what's your first primary objective right now that you want to make like your slogan, and then just push that beyond everything else right now, and then keep going with all the other initiatives, because you have so many amazing things that I think that are going on right now, and I want to make sure every single one of them happens, like always. But like, what's the goal over the next week? You know, what's the goal over the next month? Let's like
the next week is like shoring up an incredible community. I really think like 500 is a magic number. I mean, I did not pick that number. There was no like analysis or anything. It was just like really like a gut feeling. It's like, I don't want it to be too big where I can't get people's feedback.
It's intuition, that's the best.
Well, that's how I've always operated. And then I go to people like you who know the real answers.
And I think it's a good number. So I say go with it. I think it's perfect.
So that's my goal. Like, as you know, I don't do Twitter Spaces, and I certainly don't host them. So this is a big deal, and I really want to get the message out because it's important, and it's integral. It's super critical to our platform and to our mission to have the right people involved at the get-go. And I think we can do that. I think we can accomplish that within the week just based on who our people, you know, our founders, and who they touch and who they know. And it's my goal in the next week is just to educate you all. So you have the right tools, like you just said, to go out and evangelize the project. But then also to bring the right people into the community so that once we go live with the platform on the 1st, that we're kind of in a good place to start to actually sell these projects and make some money.
Fabulous. Good answer. I think this is perfect. I think this is exactly the right direction, and that's the goal right now. Let's build this community.
Cool.
I think it's fabulous.
Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, it's 11:11. 11 is my favorite number. That might be the perfect time to end this space. But please feel free to reach out to me or Valerie. David, I can't thank you enough for coming in here and speaking and sharing your wisdom. And jump in if you haven't already. Take a look at the link. It's our Mint site. Our main site is hw3.io. That's our website, and you can see some of the other projects that we've done. And then, put yourself on the allow list. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're happy to have you all. And feel free to reach out in the DMs, or like I said, VIP@hw3.io is our community email address. And thank you all so much for joining us. And enjoy your weekend. Love you all so much. Flowers.
Love you, Francine. Have a great weekend.